The TorbayHour Radio Show, brought to you by the Babacom Inn Christmas Party Night.
So good evening, welcome along. It's just after 8 o'clock, which means it's time for the TorbayHour Radio Show. We have a full studio again.
Yeah.
Now, tonight we introduce a bit of culture onto the show. If you've been following the Twitter feed already, you already know that our guest tonight is the Paint and Poet.
Hi there, Rick.
Good evening.
Hi, Torbay.
Are we going to just call you Paint and Poet all night, or are we going to reveal your true identity?
You can call me Chaz if you want.
Chaz. Chaz.
We've already got an exclusive.
An exclusive. So you go. So yeah, welcome Chaz to the frantic cake and business tweeting fest that is the TorbayHour Radio Show.
The cake is real, yeah.
Yeah, there really is. Yes. Now another very special announcement tonight. Actually,
no.
Martin, who is flying the Twitter tonight, it's his birthday. Yay!
No.
What do you mean no?
No, we're ignoring that. Thank you.
Okay, right, it's not Martin's birthday, it is now being officially cancelled.
Yes.
All the usual fun of the show, so we've got our 140-second tweets a little bit later on. We've also got our account of the week in a few minutes' time. We have got lots of frantic tweeting, there is some cake, but tonight, of course, the added bonus of having poetry. So, if there is something which you would like a cheeky poem about, can we do some instant poetry? Can we work on something?
If you can't get them on the Wi-Fi, you can't.
I'll keep an eye out.
We'll work on the Wi-Fi.
We'll work on it.
We'll work on the Wi-Fi. So if there is something which you would like a cheeky poem about, and I think maybe we start with Martin's birthday.
You could do, yeah.
Yeah, we'll work on Martin's birthday. Get in touch. We're also going to find out a bit about what Chaz does in the time when he's not creating poetry. There is a time when you're not creating poetry, I assume.
I'm normally asleep when I'm not rhyming, but there's a few minutes here and there, yeah.
Right, let's get things underway with our account of the week.
Featured accounts with the Works Torbay. Flexible, affordable workspace. A new way of working and
Okay, our featured account this week is the Torbay Holiday Helpers Network, which is run by Brian Lewis. Now, good evening, Brian. Can you tell me when the Torbay Holiday Helpers Network first got off the ground?
It was set up about 5 years ago by a chap called Luke Tillen, who has a hotel in Babacom, and he decided on the idea of helping families that were less fortunate than other families to a free holiday. So he started offering them his hotel, and then other hotels and guest accommodation jumped on board as well to offer free holidays. And then free tourist attractions started saying, we could offer them free entry into our attractions, and cafes joined, and all sorts of businesses have joined up. So we provide free holidays to families who are affected by serious illness or affected by recent bereavement. From all over the UK, basically other charities and healthcare professionals nominate families to us, and we see if we can match them up with a free holiday. So all the businesses give the services for free, and we raise funds ourselves to provide travel grants to the families that really can't afford it.
No, I was going to ask you then about how you get your funds and what you do.
All our funds come through the fundraising that we do, and that our very generous supporters do. So we do several fundraising events. I mean, Hanbury's Fish and Chips, Dave Hanbury, he does his music festival every year, and for the last 3 years now, that's raised funds for us, which we're very grateful for. And loads of other businesses and supporters hold fundraising events. We have a lot of runners who take part in loads of local and further afield running events for us, raising sponsorship. So we all work very hard, and we have a lot of volunteers on board that help us do our fundraising and also help with the holiday side of things as well.
So how many? How do you refer to the people? Are they clients? Are they guests? How many families can you help in a year?
Families we've now helped over 450 families in the last 5 years. The number we help each year just keeps growing, really. So last year we were very lucky in that the Miss World and Miss England charity donated to us a holiday caravan at Finn Lake Leisure Park, which has enabled us to help even more families every single year. But we still rely on hotels, bed and breakfast, self-catering accommodation providers who come to us and say, look, we've got a week here where we've got no one in. Have you got a family that would like a holiday?
I mean, that's obviously fantastic.
They do that for free.
That's brilliant. It really is good. Have you got a list of the people? Because it's worth sort of helping out, or giving a bit of a plug to everyone who's involved. Do you have a list of people?
Yeah,
that
we
can
do.
run
If
through?
people go to our website, which is www.thhhn.co.uk, we have a supporters page, and that lists all our supporters, all the accommodation providers, the tourist attractions, cafes, restaurants. We've even got people like Riverford Farm and butchers and bakers that if people are coming down on a safe self-catering holiday, they help us put together a nice food hamper for the families for when they arrive.
You've also got very good at getting your logo and your brand, I guess, really, into a lot of places around Torbay and South Devon. Certainly that I seem to go to. You see your stickers in doorways and on tables in cafes and stuff.
Yeah, we try our very hardest to get our name out there, because a lot of people think that all we do, we bring families down into Torbay, but we also send Torbay families out to other places. We do have accommodation that's not in Torbay, and we send families out there. So we like to get known locally, to help local families as well. And we're just very good at doing it. And any of our supporters, any of the businesses that support us, we give them the stickers, we give them the posters, we give them a certificate to say, we help Torbay Holiday Helpers Network for them to put up in their business to show that they help us.
So what have you got coming up that people can get involved in?
We've got several major things getting up. One of them is we're actually opening up a new store, a new shop in St Mary Church. It's currently being worked on at the moment. It's hoping to be open in December. That's going to sell pre-loved children's items, toys, games, clothes. And also upstairs there is actually going to be our main office as well now. So we've got a place where people can come along and chat to us about what we're doing and find out about what we're doing and just have meetings in the office as well. So that shop's opening soon. And then our major one that we're launching next year is we've got something called the City to Sea 53, which is a big fundraising event for us, which is a 53-mile ultra-marathon starting in Exeter by the quayside and travelling all the way to Babbacombe Downs via Berry Head, getting people from all over the country and further afield to take part in that.
Wow.
But we've also got a 23-mile version happening on the same day, which you can either run or walk. So we've got like a walking version, if people don't feel that energetic, because 53 miles is quite a way.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely. So the 23-mile is from Exeter. It goes to Babbacombe on a more direct route.
Right. Very sensible.
Yeah, absolutely. But on Babbacombe Downs on the day, we're taking over the whole of Babbacombe Downs to have the finish line. We're going to have a race village. We're having family entertainment, stalls, family games. We're having live music in an open-sided marquee that's going to be open to everyone, not just the people that are taking part. So the whole event is open to everyone on the Downs. And you can see everyone finishing throughout the day, because they're going to be finishing from like 11 o'clock in the morning till about 9 o'clock at night. So that's a really big one for us.
It sounds like it's going to be an incredible time, actually. So let's assume for one moment that there's someone listening who has not come across what you do but would like to actually be a part of the network. How would they do that?
They can either go to our website, www.thhhn.co.uk, and we've got a thing there about how you can help. You can email myself if you're interested in fundraising, which is brian@thhhn.co.uk, or you can email inquiries@thhhn.co.uk, and that takes you through to Luke, who will tell you all about how you can come on board as a business.
How have you found that social media and Twitter in particular has helped you spread the message of what you do?
Twitter is very good at for us, and actually Facebook as well. It's just because, in previous years when these weren't available as a fundraiser, because I've worked as a fundraiser for some other other charities in the past, and when these weren't available, and to get your message out was very hard. But now you've got Twitter and this great network and community of people, and things like Devon Hour and Torbay Hour, and for the runners we use UK Run Chat as well, which are very good hashtags to all use. It's just great because we get directed to the people that want to hear about us and want to know about us and what we do.
Is there a kind of network of people doing similar things in different parts of the country and the world?
Not as we do it, no. We're really the only charity we know of that does it where we have the businesses that do it for free. There are other charities that provide holidays and wishes and stuff like that, but generally they sort of pay a rate to the hotel or accommodation provider. It may be a reduced rate, but they still pay for it, whereas we're very lucky in the accommodation providers and the tourist attractions that have just jumped on board and said, no, we're going to do it for free. We're just so overwhelmed when people come to us and say, I've got a hotel, send people my way. Or we've got supporters like the Babbacombe Model Village and Kent's Cavern and Hanbury's Fish and Chips, Angel's Tea Rooms. They've just come along and said, send people to us. They can come in for free.
Fantastic. Big-hearted Torbay does it again.
It's massive-hearted Torbay. It really is. You just couldn't believe it. If you have a look, go to our website, have a look at the number of people that help us, the tourist attractions, the hotels. You'll just see how many people are on board and actually help us. And it really does give families memories to treasure forever. The feedback we have, there's family feedback on the website. Have a look at that. We get it, weekly, monthly. We get feedback from the families, and it really means so much to these families. They're living through horrible times, and they just have a 3-day break, 5-day break a week. It's just a break away from the normality, hospital appointments, all sorts, and it just gives them a break, and it's really great.
Brilliant. Brian, listen, thank you very much for being our featured account this week.
No, that's great. Thanks for having me.
More power to your elbow, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but have a great Christmas. And
you too.
Let's hope that we can certainly drum up some more support for you, get some people doing that marathon. I can't believe you're doing 53 miles. That's real dedication. Good luck for that next year. We'll get you back on, actually, and you can tell us how it went.
That would be great. That would be fantastic.
Brilliant. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you very much, then. Bye.
The Featured Accounts with the Works Torbay. Flexible, affordable workspace. A new way of working and doing business.
So there you go, that's our featured account this week. If you fancy being a featured account, then you can, of course, send a message during the week, and Martin or James will be in touch. It's 12 minutes past 8. It is Monday night. We are scarily close. We just mentioned the Christmas word. There's no avoiding it now. I tell you what, anyone who sort of said, no, not until the 1st, should try going into one of the shopping areas.
Yes.
It's a general kind of...
Yes.
Is it because it's some kind of male-orientated room tonight? That Are you guys the kind of Christmas Eve, I need to get presents kind of people, or do you plan?
Yeah, that doesn't work when you're shopping online.
Shop local.
Yes, that's why I always shop local.
Well, in fact, actually, this is a very important point. Next Saturday is Small Business Saturday, isn't it? The 4th of December is Small Business Saturday.
Yeah, it is.
And that's the day when we're all encouraged to go out, and we should anyway, go out and support small, local, independent businesses.
And there's so many of them in Torbay.
Absolutely. So no excuses. You've had 2 weeks heads up on this one.
There you go.
Now, Paint and Poets, Chaz, welcome along properly now. You've indulged in cake. You're in the studio. We've found out it's Martin's birthday. We sadly haven't managed to get you on the Wi-Fi yet, but have you got any poetry for us tonight?
Okay, Martin is older today, but he didn't want to say. But for everybody's sake, he's brought in lovely cake.
Hooray!
Thank you, darling wife.
Nice one.
Make the cake.
Yeah, it's very good. Martin's wife, top cake. We like that. Martin, what's going on Twitter?
Right, so Ian Hobbs has been on, and quite apt. He's promoting a new online Devon book club.
Oh, right.
So if that's your thing, give him a look up and see about joining that one. Devon Pilates has been on. They've got a new mat work Pilates class starting in Torquay on Tuesdays, 11:30 till 12:30. So
okay.
get yourself all flexible. Torquay Nails.
Get yourself flexible.
Yeah. Torquay Nails, if you're stuck for a Christmas present, won't treat your loved one to nail treatments for Christmas.
Nice.
There you go.
Now, Chaz, there's a serious side to why you're here, apart from just having some cheeky poems every now and again. We want to talk about how social networking, the internet, all that kind of stuff has been able to help you. Because you are a poet and an author pretty much all the time, aren't you?
I am, yes, full-time, really, yeah.
And how has that been able to sort of develop using the internet that you wouldn't? I mean, traditionally, an author would have to write a manuscript, send it to a publisher, and then probably get the inevitable rejection.
Well, I mean, it takes me 3 to 6 months to write a book, and if I was typewritering or writing it, it would seriously be years.
Yeah.
But just having a computer makes it a possibility, and with people like Amazon, they've got a very helpful self-publishing platform, and that 2 or 3 years ago helped me actually get what I was writing out there and get the snowball rolling. But it's the paint and poet of my poetry on Twitter, and actually engaging with people, and then them seeing that I've got a certain way with words, and can string a little story together and write it, and it helps me piggyback my authoring, which is mainly sci-fi, on the back of that. And it's still very early days, but that has definitely shown a lot more promise. So my paint and poet on Twitter is the engine for my whole authoring business. I'm writing children's illustrated poetry on ebooks, and my sci-fi is motoring ahead more because of a Twitter account, which is quite surprising.
So where did you let's turn it right back. Where did you get the idea then for doing the paint and poet?
Well, I've had a few incarnations on Twitter, none of which, as poetry, would engage with anybody. But I was writing a poem a day in a sort of exchange with my sister-in-law's husband in a run-up to Christmas.
Right.
And what with the weather and women, worrying about who's going to eat this, and there's a vegetarian here and celiac, whatever. We started having a sort of email conversation in poetry.
Okay.
And some of them are getting, don't be humble, but they got quite funny. So I started to tweet them, and I thought I'll tweet this guy every day for a year, just to see if I can keep that up. And after a few months, I thought this is a waste. Spending half an hour writing a sort of 8-verse poem and then just sending it to one guy in Cambridgeshire.
Yeah, of course.
So I started tweeting them, and the Paint and Poet's my third incarnation, and it's the first one that managed to gain some engagement with the public. But it was through TorbayHour, which has got too big for me to operate in now as a one-man poet. But that got me a good sort of crucial amount of Twitter followers who engage with me. And now I sort of work alongside artists, and I do poems for charity. I've done Torbay Helpers Network one, and I do sort of community poems to sort of advertise street fairs in Exeter, Plymouth. I did one for the Royal British Legion for their craft fair on Saturday.
Right.
And that was getting more retweets and more likes on Facebook than the Royal British Legion paint and branch sort of thing, because it's people don't think they like poetry, but the top 40 in rock and roll and reggae, it's actually written. It is poetry that's sung, and so when people see poetry and it's personal, or it's alongside in an advert, it actually is, it's very disengaging, and they sort of relax and then start to enjoy it. It's quite surprising. And there's more poetry lovers out there than you think for my sort of thing. So I'm not a serious poet. The Wenlock poetry competition, because most people in Devon wouldn't want to read what wins it, if you know what I mean. It's very highbrow. Not putting it down, but I am more of an ordinary person's poetry with a little bit of cheek and humour, where I can't even, I'm not a comedian, but that does engage with people and they love it.
Well, I mean, humour is kind of the universal thing, really, isn't it? And also, people just like hearing about themselves or things they know about.
Well, you wouldn't believe the number of people I've tweeted a poem to, or said, "Could you do one for my husband's, birthday or for an anniversary?" And they say and the person says that's the first time anyone's ever written me a poem. It's like a sort of 65-year-old man or a 25-year-old woman. And people actually love it. It's got that romantic edge, even if it's not a romantic poem.
Sure.
They love the fact somebody has gone to the trouble.
Romance is dead.
To pen something for them.
Romance is not
No more
dead.
poetry for wives and stuff. Come on, what's going on, people? Write your wife a poem. Not
Well,
that
I'll
I
write
do.
one for you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there
Don't
you
tell
go.
her.
You see, don't tell.
Someone else can do the work and you can get all the benefit. That sounds good to me.
Now, Martin's wife, who's clearly listening to the show, now knows exactly.
She doesn't get poetry. We've been together too long now.
I know where it comes from when she does now.
Exactly, yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. What's the kind of craziest subject you've ever been asked to write a poem about?
The best one was very early in my paint and poet days on TorbayHour. A woman who's a masseur, but not, the seedy end.
A proper one.
A proper one, she's at Exeter University and lectures in massage and trains and everything. She wanted a poem so that her students could remember the different bones of the skull.
Oh, right,
for
okay.
skull massage.
Right.
And I actually got it down into 4, because some of them, the bones actually rhymed, I got it down into a sort of 4-line mantra. And she's been using it for the last sort of 18 months. And she said she's never had anything that has driven something into her students' heads so well. So that was the weirdest thing, but it's actually been so effective.
Well, that's...
she could have paid a lot of money for the same sort of tool at any other angle.
Yeah.
But it just clicks with everybody.
Now, this is a point you raised just before you came on air, actually. I'd kind of assumed that this was a business for you. The writing is, as an author, is a business, but the poetry you just do for fun.
The poetry is just for fun. The only commercial side I've got is last year I did one. I've just exclusively can announce I've published this afternoon is a children's fully illustrated poetry, which is the sort of thing you would read to a sort of 2-3-year-old or up to 5 or 6 might read.
Right.
And that's about a rabbit called Twitch who lives in Broadsands. So he's a very local lad, so you can probably go and see him if you're on the beach. He's often down there. So that's the only commercial thing, and that's only a very young thing. So that's the only way my poetry has got commercial, but it's not truly commercial. It's out there to buy, on Amazon, Chazzy Arnold, but it's not gone anywhere yet.
Sure. All right. Well, listen, we're going to find out more about what you do and where we can find your work in a few minutes. We've got our 140-second tweet on the way. We also like to play some music from some acts from Torbay and South Devon, in fact, Devon as a whole, who wouldn't necessarily get airplay on other radio stations. This is a chance, if you are a solo performer or maybe in a band and you want to get your music out there, get in touch with us, send us a message via Twitter, and we can get you on the show. Now, a few weeks ago, we played a song from an outfit called Land of the Giants, who've had a fantastic summer. So much reaction when we played the song. Everybody loved it. So we've dug out another one from their catalogue. Now, you can actually download some of their stuff for free from their website, which is really good. And there's more and more acts doing that as well. I guess it's much like the poetry and the authors thing, isn't it? The internet is wonderful for getting work out there and people becoming aware of you.
Well, it's same for musicians and writers and even artists to get out there, because you don't want to go out to be commercial to start with. You just got to think, whatever art it is, you've got to do it because you like it, because you put so much effort into it. It'll do your head in, and you'll go crazy if you don't make money out of it. And anything you make out of it's going to be a bonus. Yeah. But don't give up the day job. But there's no way in the old traditional world you could tweet a poem or tweet an art or tweet your link to YouTube with your video on or whatever it is. And over the space of a week, you can perhaps get 50 or 60 people will comment on it. You'd have to stand in the street for weeks for that to happen, or sleep outside. Record producers.
Sure, absolutely.
For your whole life, it just doesn't happen.
No,
so but you get more satisfaction as an artist if you don't concentrate on the money to start with. You'll get a lot more satisfaction out of what you're creating.
But I guess you've also got to be prepared to take the rough with the smooth, and people might not like what you're doing.
You probably find, once you've got a little bit of a following, the people who will read or look are on your side. You don't buy the ketchup you don't like every week and think, it's disgusting again, do you?
That's true.
So you see a poet and you don't like them, you're not going to look at them. If you see an artist, you won't follow them on Twitter. You won't buy another CD or download a single from somebody you've disliked the last 3 of. So the more you go on, the dissenters and the people who don't like what you're doing, because there's going to be some, obviously. Yeah. They become a smaller percentage all the time, really, because people are finding you because of retweets, recommendations, or hashtag FF or whatever, or sharing on Facebook. They're finding you because somebody's recommending you, basically.
Great.
So that's one of the good things about finding appreciative people for any artwork, any sort of art.
Which is a long way round of getting to the point that Land of the Giants were incredibly popular. We had them on the show. Yes, they're incredibly popular. So we've dug out another song which you can download from their website. This is called Treat Me as a God.
Licking, I'm the more I'm a low down slick kid. She knows I'm a slack whack even she knows I'm a big saying game plan with riddle pickled I get tired of gripping the blind.
Wow. Treat me as a god. You can imagine it's almost like the I am the god of hellfire.
Sounds like James in one of our meetings.
Oh dear, oh dear. It's the TorbayHour Radio Show, brought to you by the Barbican Inn and their Christmas party nights. It's coming up to 8:30 Monday night. We're halfway through the hour. Martin, what's going on Twitter tonight? Is it frantic, or is it one of the slightly quieter nights?
It's about middling. It's middling to good, I'd say.
Okay.
A lot of people commenting on the weather. It's freezing. Yes, we know.
Yeah, it is. The ice caught me out this morning. It was one of those scrape the windscreen mornings, wasn't it?
It was a
chilly.
little bit. Car nearly didn't start, but we got there in the end. So on the Pig Apple have been on saying about the Cockington Christmas Market on the 6th and 7th of December. They've also got an ice rink there, so that'll be worth checking out. If you go on the 7th, you can then go across to Studley Knoll, where they have their carol service on Sunday night.
Very good.
So there you go. I've sorted out your next weekend.
Yep.
Paul Plum Torquay, he's been on promoting himself. He does plumbing and heating and gives advice on that type of thing as well. So if that's your thing, if you need someone like that, especially if your pipes are frozen last night, give him a shout.
Probably loads of people are suddenly thinking as you said that, have we put the heating on? Yes, we have put the heating on, otherwise I wouldn't get away with it. But there's probably people putting it on for the first time and suddenly finding it doesn't work. But anyway.
Exactly. So if
that's what we can help with.
That's the thing, go check it out.
Now, we have the luxury of a real-life poet in the studio tonight. If there's a subject you would like a poem about, get in touch. We were discussing the fact that romance is dead, apparently. Well, it certainly is in Martin's house.
Yep.
So there is no romance. It's time to bring some of that romance back. It's Hayley, your good lady wife, isn't it?
It is.
Creator of the cake.
Okay.
Hayley, the Paint and Poet has romance for you.
Well, this was inspired by a picture of roses by a local Torquay artist called Teresa Shaw, and it's dedicated to Hayley, because Martin doesn't want to read any poetry to you, so I will. It's called An English Rose. I might cross vast blue oceans, stray very far from this fair land, get caught by an adventurous notion, but I will still offer you my hand. I might travel to the remotest isle, board a space rocket to outer space, orbit godly gas giants for a while, but to my English love I will always race. I might hunt for a long-lost civilization, rest on exotic foreign beaches and doze, but England is my heart's true nation, and I will always return to my English rose.
Oh,
Hayley.
That's great. He is the gas giant, by the way.
He is quite a big guy.
Well, no, it's not so much that.
And very gassy.
I was going to say, if you'd been here a few weeks ago, you'd know exactly why we said that. But
And it was Hayley's fault, though, so actually... There you go.
There you go,
All
Hayley.
ties up.
Romance is not dead. So, how long in each day do you spend poetising? What's the correct type? Rhyming.
Well, it depends what I'm doing, because I've written whole series of poems for different events, and especially artists when they've had sort of pop-up art, and I'm actually the poet member of the Devon Art Pop.
Right.
Which is, there's 3 or 4 members are in South Devon, and there's Plymouth and North Devon and everywhere, and Teresa Shaw was inspired by, she's a member of the Devon Art Pop.
Right.
And they had, the last thing was at Kelly House, which was on the one of those house rescue programs on the TV in West Devon. Yep. And they have a craft fair, and they had a pop-up art gallery there, and I wrote 38 poems for that.
Wow.
So that was a almost full-time job for a month to write those, because it's not just, I have to get the artist to send me images of what I'm going to be writing about, so it's not a blind thing. And then, there's actually admin involved when you're dealing with 10 artists.
Can't bet.
And it's better to do it yourself rather than delegate it, because it'll never work, and they'll all be last minute throwing things at you.
And of course, in my mind, I was suddenly thinking, hang on a second, how are you cramming all this into 140 characters? But of course, you do actually have the freedom to use more than that in the real world, don't you? So
when it's for an artist, it will be no more than 4 verses, because it's got to be on a piece of A5 or A4 next to the art, and it can't detract from it. So there's a limit there. But if, I've written my 2013 Halloween poem, I think it was about 53 verses long. And it would take you about 15 minutes to read it, which is quite a long thing for a poem, and that's called Zombie Pigs.
Right. There are some subjects which I would just never have thought that zombies and poems would go together.
Well, you can write a poem about anything.
Well, no, I realise that now because my eyes are open to poetry. But
it's like here, I've got one about cafe cultures, one about surfers.
Oh, okay.
One about an invading rat ship. There's all sorts of...
Let's go with one about cafes.
Okay. This is called Modern Cafe Culture. Heads are always down, hands are always up, swiping and tapping, poor neglected coffee cup. Off they are together, sometimes alone, always transfixed, stares of cold stone. Occasionally a twinkle, followed by a smile. Someone's tapped like, they love your unique style. A cafe of statues, wrapped by Facebook, enthralled by Twitter, caught by the hook. Photos to share with all, maybe a friendly retweet. Just one more swipe before rising to their feet. Introverted extroverts, the real world seems absurd. A very social clientele, yet hardly a spoken word.
Very good.
That's me. Sorry.
That is inspired by sitting in a cafe, though, looking round, and everybody, mainly younger people, sort of, in the 20s, 30s, everybody had a mobile phone with a baby next to them, or a mobile phone or a tablet, and nobody was talking. And it was a very busy cafe.
Yeah, I mean, you do get this, and certainly, I think more so when you travel in Europe. You can see it. Yeah. You go to some of the, any of the big name chains you can think of, and there are loads and loads of students sat around and not a word being spoken. Yeah. And all this stuff, that social media, it's not.
I think
it's anti-social media. It is, yeah.
AC Print put it the best. Is it antisocial or uber social? Are you being antisocial, or are you actually being more social than you would have been in the past?
Wow.
The physical contact, not too contact, but the physical thing is better though, because these artists, as an example, I actually write better poetry and work better with them on Twitter and Facebook when I've actually shaken their hand and met them and talked to them.
Sure.
And it's like when I used to work in IT, I used to do video conferencing across the world, and I could never really engage with people when I had sort of 6 people on a screen and there was a sort of phone in the middle of the desk and 8 of us around it. It always seemed so abstract. I never got as much out of it as if I was sitting in the room with everybody.
Well,
Which is, you say it's old school, but I have worked with sort of networking technology for sort of 25 years.
Yeah.
So I come from well before the internet existed. So, it isn't as good as talking and sitting in a room like we are, to be frank.
Absolutely, yeah.
But then again, some of my best followers, are in New York, and I do talk to them on a daily basis. I've got sort of all across Britain and New York and sort of Florida, and Australians. And also there are people you engage with that you would never meet. So you could say it opens up avenues.
You say never, but if they came to the UK, they might try and find you.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean that actually in a nice way.
Hang on, now I'm scared.
Well, and rightly should be. But no, I mean, I totally agree. I come from a kind of, I want to communicate. I want to sort of socialise with people in the real world. However, I fully understand the Twitter thing, and I love interacting with it. And I when I started, it was like, no, not going to do this.
Yeah.
Not going to. But I tweeted a picture yesterday when I was in Exeter, and we were at the Christmas market, and it's kind of like, well, actually, it does lots of things. It sort of says, hey, I'm actually here. I mean, the community, but it promotes business. It's doing all kinds of things. So I get it, but as you say, I really like sitting in a room talking to people.
But then, like you say, I talked to some good people. I hope they're good anyway. They're behind the screen somewhere. I would never have got to talk to them, any other way.
Yeah.
And like you were saying before with, do you get a lot of people criticising your work? But the way social media works and the way people spread things with retweets, you tend to get people on recommendation. And it's the same, you won't keep chatting with somebody. You'll sort of let them down easy and then stop reading their tweets and stop replying if you not getting on. So you do build relationships, with people you never would do, and you get insights, into other parts of the world and other angles. And
also, it gives you, I mean, the world of celebrity, it opens it right up. You can actually talk to, and I get really excited if I tweet something, and I think it was Deborah Meaden responded to one of my tweets, and it was like I got so excited. It was like, yes, Deborah Meaden knows who I am. Well, not knows who I am, but responded to a tweet. Really, have you worked or communicated with any uber famous people?
I've not. The biggest things I've had are more West Country TV people sort of thing. Because I wrote a poem for Natalie Corner, who's a presenter on Spotlight BBC, and her little dog Tommy got lost. Well, he disappeared and ended up in Newton Abbot from Plymouth, I think.
Wow.
Somebody sort of picked him up and took him home thinking he was lost.
Yeah.
But so Twitter reunited Natalie Corner with her dog. So I wrote a poem about that, and she was very nice and retweeted everything and chatted to me for a while. So it's more local celebrity at the moment. I've never had a proper retweet. From somebody really big.
So there you go. There's a challenge then. Before we next get you on the show, you need to have an uber celebrity. We need a Tom Cruise.
More than Rick Edwards.
Oh, come on. Not even remotely celebrity. It's time for one of these.
The 140-second pitch. Sponsored by Torbay Discount Card. Torbay's community discount card.
Okay, the 140-second pitch is a chance for you to promote what you do and where you do it in 140 seconds. We've taken the 140 character rule from Twitter and turned it into time. It's
genius.
It took at least 20 seconds to come up with the idea. So here we go with tonight's 140-second tweet. Your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Serena. I own Latitude Clothing Co., which is located in Middle Street, Brixham, just above the town centre car park. I sell affordable, good quality lifestyle clothing, shoes and accessories for men, ladies and children, ranging in sizes from XS to 4XL, catering for all budgets and all ages. Gift vouchers. I stock some amazing brands, including Animal, Lazy Jacks, Weird Fish, Crew Clothing, Chatham Shoes, Dudes, Deal, Alice Collins, Tamebury, to name but a few. I take part in local events such as Lifeboat Week, Fish Stock and various Saturday and Sunday markets taking place in town during the year. I also get asked to donate prizes to the local charities, which I'm very grateful to be involved in, as it's so important to the community. I am both on Twitter, @LatitudeCC, and Facebook, Latitude Clothing Co. I'm enjoying learning about Twitter and Facebook and have great friends who advise and help me out. Pop into my shop and have a look around. You'll find some great Christmas presents and even something for yourself. I currently have offers running in the I Love Brixham magazine, so have a look and take advantage. I also have a sale in the store. Brixham will be holding its late night shopping evening on Thursday the 4th of December, and there'll be free parking for this event. For Saturdays from the 22nd of November to the 20th of December, you can park for 4 hours for £1 in Brixham Town Centre car park. What a bargain, so take advantage and do your shopping in Brixham. I just want to say thanks very much for having me on your show.
You're more than welcome. So, have you had a chance to go on the new Brixham passenger ferry yet?
No, I haven't, but it looks amazing.
Do you hope it's going to do well to bring people across the bay from Torquay?
Yes, it will do, I think, because in the summer when the ferries are running, they bring quite a few people across. So, I think it'll be really good.
Brilliant. Give us contact details again.
Latitude Clothing Co. at 42 Middle Street, Brixham.
And if we're following you on Twitter, we go to...
Latitude CC.
Easy as that. Serena,
That's
thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Well done, Serena. A couple of seconds spare in there. But that's fine. So if you fancy being a 140-second tweet, then get in touch and you can be on the show. And people think there's a catch to this. There isn't. This is just a chance for you to promote your business for free.
Yeah, easy. It's completely free. There's no catch. If you want to give me freebies, I'll take it. if you want there to be a catch, I can find one for you. But no, it's completely free. So get in touch. Fill my calendar, please.
Now, what's going on the Twitter feed tonight?
Right, Paint and Zoo. They've been on again. They've got a full-time arborist position going.
Oh, good. We like recruitment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Newbie, U_can_B_free. They're new into the area and they're joining us on Twitter evening. So good luck to them. Welcome aboard. And you're probably not listening, but you better be. You better be next week. Train Smart Limited, they've been on. They've just got the World Host Trainer status, which means they can give customer service excellence training. So,
oh right, okay.
So that's always worth checking out. James has been on. He's promoting his new Facebook page, James Twigger, Chartered Accountant or something like that. So if you're a follower of TorbayHour, then he'd really appreciate a like on there. And Billy Do 25, they're saying if you're looking for Christmas presents at the moment, lino cuts that she does, I've got one. They are really very nice.
Excellent, actually. I've done a bit of work writing poems for Emma, that is.
Oh, okay.
She's a lady, not a Billy Do. She's a lady.
This Billy Do is her,
yes,
her Twitter name, and I know how to pronounce it because she told me.
Yeah. Okay. And sorry, anyway, you were saying, Jazz.
No, she's one of the Devon art pop people I work with. She's from Paynton, actually.
Right, this is what this is what I really like. So 15, 20 years ago, we'd have said, oh yeah, I've seen that shop in the high street, I don't know. But now we know the people that we're talking about, and this is what's so great. Now, do you reckon that this is a Devon thing or a West Country thing, that we're more connected with the people that we live and work with, or is this something that's as a result of social media?
Well, the Devon art pop, there's about 12 artists, and the two founding ladies did find themselves, each other on Twitter in TorbayHour again, and everybody they've found more or less has been through Twitter,
right? And
because they're called Devon art pop, they will be exclusively Devon. They won't go outside,
right?
But they're predominantly not Devonians like I'm not, and but for some reason, having lived around the country, Devon is a very community orientated mentality, and people come here. They're either already that minded, and that's one of the reasons they're drawn to this part of the world, or it sort of, they absorb it when they get here. But it does seem to be very community minded more than a lot of other parts of the country anyway, and I think that has moved over into the social networking, definitely.
I mean, I think when we've found, certainly over the weeks, that Brixham is particularly good at the business networking in the virtual world. But there are other parts of the county that do not just as well as Brixham, really. But
Brixham's a hitter, and say Exeter's a really big hitter. North Devon's quite big. Plymouth's not too bad. Torquay's second division. Paynton's third or fourth division. When it comes to exposure on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and everything, they're very poor. Paynton are.
We still need to find a champion to kind of champion the cause for Twitter in Torquay and Paynton.
Well, we've got Paynton next to us.
Well, yeah,
You should
that's
make
right.
the guy who runs the Torbay bid from the bookshop, isn't he? He would be minded to do that, wouldn't he?
Right, there you go. He's been volunteered.
Yeah.
We like that.
I think he'd have to follow us first.
It does have to be a business type person, though. I'm not declining on, just because I don't want to do it, but there is more in it for the business people, and
Sure.
it does become a business chat thing. Like TorbayHour is predominantly a business chat thing, so I wouldn't want to get involved in that type of thing.
Sure.
So it has to be somebody who's a Paynton business person.
Right, Paynton business people, Torquay business people, we need to hear from you. We need to get the champions. We need to get a healthy rivalry. I don't like this idea of
no, it should
Torquay
be.
being second division.
Why is Little Brixham the biggest hitter on Twitter?
Well, exactly.
though?
We'll start doing
They're
a
good
league
at
table, shall we?
Well, we end up asking this question pretty much every
I've heard
week.
it before, yeah.
So, yeah, that is a fine question. Come on, Torquay. Come on, Paynton. We need you back up there in the Premier League, along with Brixham. Too many football analogies. Listen, it's time to get another song on. This one from Sarah Yo, who has recorded here at the Music Mill, has a current EP out, is absolutely sensational, as in fact all of the acts that we play and all of the songs. But there is no reason why Sarah Yo is not getting international exposure. Absolutely sensational. This is a song called Be Happy. And when it is a global sensation, remember where you heard it first. The TorbayHour Radio Show on a Monday night from 8 o'clock.
You lost your way. You used to have things to say. Now your words get twisted out of shape. Now you need to be dragged from your bed. There's no room in your head. You're feeling blue and I know that your color is red. Wanna see you smile again. Wanna hear you sing again. Wanna see that sparkle back in your eyes. So get up and put your face on. Go put your best pair of jeans on. Come on, come on, come on. And just be happy. Get out and fill your lungs up. You gotta get your confidence up. Come on, come on, come on. And just be happy, yeah. And just be happy, yeah. And just be happy. Friend, tell me what I should do. You know that I tell the truth. You can have my ear anytime you choose. You're losing a hold of your grip. Nothing seems to fit. Now you put yourself in your own harm's way. Wanna see you smile again. Wanna hear you sing again. Wanna see that sparkle back in your eyes. So get up and put your face on. Go put your best pair of jeans on. Come on, come on, come on. And just be happy. Get up and fill your lungs up. Gotta get your confidence up. Come on, come on, come on.
TorbayHour Radio Show with Sarah Yo, and that's coming up to 10 to 9. Shockingly, we've been talking poetry. We've not even touched on cake, although there has been some pictures of cake flying around, actually.
I haven't taken any photos of these yet.
No. Dot's Pantry was there like a shot.
John can't help himself. Can he?
I swear, the only reason we have so much cake here is because of John and Sophie just tweeting cake.
Bad influences.
Yeah, it is bad influence.
Very bad influence.
Got a poem for that.
Okay, go for it. We like it. Instant poetry. Instant requests. Where's it gone? Piles of paperwork. Too many poems.
There are too many poems, aren't there?
You'll be fine.
Shall I do a few tweets while we're waiting?
Yeah, do some tweets, yeah.
So Disco Junction, they've been on. They're so close to 700 followers. They're big supporters of the show, so give them a follow.
Okay.
Huntley Lettings have also been on. They're so close to 100 followers, so it'd be nice to get them into triple figures.
Yeah, absolutely.
James, we're also searching for somebody to run the Torbay People account. That's a sister account to TorbayHour, and you can just tweet whatever you like on that account.
Torbay People?
Torbay People, yeah.
Support Torbay when you do it.
Yeah, it's literally just an account where we give it to a different person in Torbay every week, and it's yours for the week. You do what you like with it. So if you fancy running that, then get in touch with us and we'll put you on that as well.
Wow.
So I think Chaz has found it now.
Okay, right, poetry.
So this is
instant
for,
request.
John at Dot's Pantry and for Sophie at Millie and me in Brixham. Cake, it's hard. 400 calorie mockers, lattes with a pint of milk, exquisite intense espresso, gliding down like pure silk. Double chocolate muffins, a wedge of lush carrot cake, tempting caramel shortbread, it's too much for me to take. Bakes, biscuits, pastries, are here, there and everywhere. I'm trying to be good and healthy, but all they do is taunt and stare. I must resist chocolate brownies, Sophie. A will of steel is what I need. I must cut down on the cappuccinos and curb my sweet tooth's greed.
Very good.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry now.
You've got cake on your side of the desk. It's fine. It's fine. Now, I mean, obviously, comedy has gone through a massive increase in popularity, and there are comedy nights here, there, and everywhere. Yeah. Is poetry? Is there a movement for poetry to become sort of a populist culture for poetry?
Poetry is more of a performance thing than it used to be, and I'm not a natural performer, so I'm probably years away from developing that side of my business.
Right, but there are places people go and sit and listen to people.
The reciting poetry is a very niche thing, but if it's a poet like Benjamin Zephaniah, somebody like that, it's going to be engaged with anybody. You have to be humorous, and you probably have to be political.
Okay.
And, like a lot of comedians, some of the bigger comedians are quite topical and political.
Yeah.
Some aren't. Some are just jokers, but it is normally the way most comedians go, and they're very with the day, aren't they? Even the ones that are enduring, they're not the same from one year to the next.
That's right.
And just reading out poems, it's like my one about people on smartphones. That would have died 10 years ago. It'll probably die in 10 years. So you have to keep moving with the material, and you have to be a performer. It's like everybody can't stand up and sing. Not everybody can, stand up and read poetry.
Sure.
I'm not happy with the way I'm reading today. It's sort of got a lot of work to be done on it.
You're fine. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're spinning off now, but comedy's got far less aggressive. Back in the 1980s,
the 80s.
Ben Elton was sort of very shouty as a comedian, wasn't he?
Well, without being political, Margaret Thatcher, got a lot of people's backs up, and I think she, the Tories' rise to fame in the early 80s and their sort of their political way they went on, that really stirred up a hotbed of comedians, and I don't think you'll get it again. Politics, everyone says, all the parties are sort of the same.
Yeah.
They're just sort of, there's not really right wing, left wing, blue and red anymore. But in the 80s, it really was.
Oh yeah, well,
socialists versus the capitalists. And Margaret Thatcher was so ripe for being taken out by everybody.
Well, mainly Spitting Image.
Yeah.
I mean, try and think.
Well, Ben Elton was the big one.
Well,
he was he's nowhere now, but
he's in Australia.
He was his comedy was driven by attacking the Thatcherite government.
Absolutely.
And so that was a passion in his heart. Once she had gone from fame, and wasn't Prime Minister, he'd lost his passion. So he moved into other things, and an author in writing. So he was a great comedian, but I think he was almost a one-trick pony because of where it was coming from.
Have you ever read any of his novels?
I've read quite a lot of them, yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Although he would only get published because he was Ben Elton. If anybody else wrote what he wrote, his English is very free and not very formal. He's very slang, and it might get published now, but back in the sort of early 90s when he first got published, he probably wouldn't have got a book through a publisher unless he was already famous, to be honest.
So,
He'd have said, no, this isn't good enough English, and the like, and he'd been too slang, and even the bits that aren't speech are in sort of speech type talk, and he wouldn't have got on a classic published.
But have you found over the year? I mean, obviously, the language is constantly evolving anyway. But have you found that the kind of casualisation, if that's the right word, of the language has changed your poetry specifically, but poetry as a whole? Or is poetry still a much more formal use of the language?
Well, poetry is in a lot of forms, and if you take children's poetry, for instance, like the Gruffalo's a famous one. That is a poem, even though people think it's a children's book. But that could have been written 50 years ago. It's very nice and very well written and good English. There's no proper slang or anything like that in it. It's not of the modern age, but it was written in the modern age. So children's poetry, for instance, predominantly is still traditional. I mean, there are ones, start talking about, more bodily functions for kids, and that sort of thing has come out, and that's spreading into children's poetry. But most poetry is out there is written for competitions and things, and it's the sort of poetry that your ordinary person doesn't want to read. It's far too intellectual.
Do people write poems in text talk and slanguage and the sort of everyday language that people talk in? Do you get lols and WTFs and all that kind of stuff?
No, you don't see much of that unless they're having to put it, concise it down because of Twitter.
Right.
But then the problem with a lot of the shortenings like LOL, you can't rhyme it because you don't know how people are going to say it. I know that sounds daft.
True, yeah.
But it could be LOL or LOL. So if you rhyme it with lol and wol,
I mean,
or LOL and fell, somebody
or hell.
If somebody says the wrong, if somebody. You've got two rhyming possibilities, so you can't have ambiguity in rhyme, otherwise your poem would fall down.
I mean, kind of hell. LOL. Right, listen, we're running out. I can't believe where this hour's gone. Give us some more poetry. Which is one which you really want to bring to the world?
Can I do a 1 minute one?
Yeah, go for it. You got a minute.
Okay. Journeys take many forms, sometimes long but often short. Sometimes spur of the moment, often requiring thought. You may fly to warmer climes or drive along a leafy lane. Just catch that bus to town or board a high-speed train. But to get the most, one need not move an inch. A wise philosophy and great when purse strings pinch. Choose your favourite chair, sit down for a while and dream. Let your spirit drift so far that nothing is as it seems. Take my hand, I'll guide you. We can journey far and wide. No planes, no trains, no buses, but I promise a unique ride. I won't ask for payment, no ticket is required. Join me on my journey as my imagination is fired. Dive deeper than any ocean, swim further than any sea. Fly higher than the planets, that's the magic of poetry. See the darkest of underworlds, experience wonders on other planes. Follow the paint and poet, you'll see more sunshine than rain.
What better way is there to finish?
140 seconds?
Well, no, it was a bit longer than that. No, actually, it wasn't.
No, it was shorter.
It was shorter.
It was a 1 minute one.
It is, I've actually timed them.
Very, very.
the Scouts.
Thank you very much for coming in. It's kind of raised the tone of.
It's been a pleasure.
This studio on a Monday night. Wrap up what's going on Twitter.
There's a few people promoting physical networking events, so if you want to take it off of Twitter and onto face-to-face, then there's the BNC at the Grand Hotel tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And Brixham's got Brixham Means Business at the Berry Head Hotel.
Brilliant.
Someone mentioned Little Brixham.
Go on.
We've upset people. Torbay Buses has been on, they said Brixham doesn't look so little.
Doesn't.
And I think Sophie's also saying Brixham isn't little. So never mind, it wasn't me that upset everybody
Brixham
this week.
is getting bigger by the moment, especially with the introduction of the new ferry. Go and use it. It's free till Wednesday. It's going to do great things for business. That's it. Wow, my God.
Brought to you by the Babacom Inn Christmas Party Nights.